Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Derek Austin's Level Up Travel. You know I love to talk about points, miles, rewards, credit cards in general. Love to talk about cash back. Love to talk about hotel programs, airline programs, how to maximize those credit card programs like membership rewards, like Chase, Ultimate Rewards, like City Thank You Points, and Capital One miles. And I love to talk about travel. There's been a little bit of a niche with this channel, filling a void of finding redemptions for your points, right? All the channels will show you how to get these big bonuses, getting tons of points, travel points, and what cards to get, what systems to get that trifecta to get a whole bunch of points, right? But they never really show you how to use those points, okay? And that's where this channel comes in. I have a lot of videos on a lot of the transfer partners already, and I'm gonna keep on coming out with them. Today, this is more of a general, flying to Europe in business class. And I just want to let you guys know that right now, because of the virus, the travel award space, it's kind of easiest it's been in a long time, right? Because people are kind of afraid to travel, so they're not booking as many flights, right? So you're finding a lot. So just wanted to let you guys know, this year, you're gonna find a lot more award space than you normally would, and it kind of feels scarce. I know, like if you're looking, you're like, I can't fly on the exact date I want. I have to do it a little bit different a lot of times, but you know, that's just the way it is. So in the future, when things are back to normal, you might not have as much award space, and I just want to let you guys know that. Okay, so with that, even now, it's hard to find like a round trip, like business class flight on the exact dates you want to go. What I would do is I would book individual legs. There's not too many airlines that give you a discount for booking a round trip flight. Skywards from Emirates is one of them, and they're a transfer partner with a couple of great airlines. I mean, great programs like Chase and Capital One and American Express. They're great, but you know, they do give you a discount for round trip. Most of them don't. So always go one, try to find award space going one way, okay? And the reason I tell you that, because it's really hard, it's hard to find one way. It's really hard to find a round trip on the same ticket, like with the same airline program, all right? So book it one at a time. You might be able to find it, but it's kind of hard, okay? So that's one piece of advice. Now, for a lot of us, me included, you know, you don't have infinite amount of points. You know, let's just take a person that might have like 150,000 ultimate reward points, right? And you want to do business class, and you're finding the one with the sweet spots I've shown you, like the Iberia Airlines during the summer from like JFK or Boston, Chicago, that kind of thing. 50,000 Iberia airline miles, or transferring them over from Chase and Capital One and American Express. You can do either one, right? Transfer them over there. Then you're booking for 50,000 Iberia Airlines. From there, for one way, going to Madrid. Gets you into Europe, right? In business class, laying flat, right? So great stuff, right? To get going back is going to be a challenge, like for what I said, right? Now, you have 150,000. So right there, you're for two people, you're down to 100, that you just used 100,000, you got 50,000 left. So you know, oh wait, I can't take business class both ways around, right? So which way do I pick? Okay. Always pick, you have to go with the time zone. So in this case, going from the United States to Europe, you want to go from the United States to Europe in business class. That's the essential spot. That's where you can sleep, because there are a lot of overnight flights. You're losing time. You're losing like 5 or 6 hours on that flight, okay? Reverse, you're actually gaining time. So when you're on that return flight, you're probably not gonna be in the mood to sleep. You know why? Because you're probably gonna go 11 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's just take the 2 o'clock in the afternoon, going from Europe to the United States, 7-hour flight, 5-hour time difference. 2 o'clock in the afternoon you left, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon when you get to the United States, okay? You're not in the mood to sleep, right? And not as big of a deal. So if you're on that, I mean, ideally you have enough points to go back and forth, But in the case that I'm telling you, you had a 150 ultimate rewards points, you used 100, now you have 50 left. Now you can go like 17 to 25,000 each way, use up that last 150, and you got what you needed. It's everyday Joe that wants to fly business class to Europe, but they don't have enough points. Which one do you pick? You don't want to be picking the one from Europe to the United States just because it's not as needed. Now with award space, you kind of sometimes you got to take what you can get, and that might be the one that you only can book, right? But in a perfect world where you couldn't afford it, perfect world you could afford it, but let's just say we're going with my scenario, always try to pick United States to Europe. And you can take that with a lot of different places wherever you'd be traveling. Think about the time zone. Just to let you guys know, if it's a long trip, like I took one from New York to Hong Kong, and then if I took a round trip, which I didn't, it was a round the world trip, the start of my round the world trip, but if I did, right? Each one doesn't matter. It's too far, 16-hour flight. It's too far. You need business class in both of them, all right? I don't think there's an advantage of having it in one or the other, but on a flight like 5 to like 9 hours, yeah, it could make a big difference. Picking the right one on how good of a time you're gonna have a trip. So I'm just gonna say you'll probably have just as good of a time as if you book business class from, let's just say, New York to Madrid, Iberia Airlines, right? You get to fly, you get to sleep on the plane, you're all good. When you get there, you're refreshed, or at least you're not completely sleep deprived. Comparing to if you took economy, you just want to go to the hotel and sleep out a day or two, and when we get like a week or 10 days or something like that on our vacations, that could really hurt, right? So that's why I say business class that way. Now take the reverse. You're going from Madrid or another spot in Europe back to the United States, say back to JFK, right? For example, and yeah, you leave at 2, you get home at 4. You're good. There's no reason besides having the luxury of being in a business class or first class flight to really need it. Okay, you're gonna have just as good a time. You're not gonna get hurt. You're gonna come back. You're gonna be just as refreshed as you were probably in a lay flat seat or that, because it's not really sleep time, right? So that's my little piece of advice, and that's kind of a general thing on award flights, especially to Europe, but other ones that would be very similar. And you could do also things like, think about LAX to New York compared to New York to LAX, 5-hour flight, a 5 or 6 hour flight, I forgot how long exactly it is, but you're gaining 3 hours, right? If you're going from New York to LA, you don't need as much of the business class flight. Now, a lot of the LA to New York, you're losing 3 hours, and a lot of times with this red-eye flight, that's where you need the business class flight. If you had to pick between them, you pick that way. So something to think about on all your awards flights, especially if you do have a budget, But if you have just oodles and oodles of points and money, it doesn't really matter. You can afford to do it, okay? But if you are a person like most of us have to make decisions like that, make that decision, okay? Make the right one. Fly. Think about the time zones when you're booking and which one if you have the option to only get one, do that, okay? So thank you guys, everybody, for subscribing to the channel. We got over 200 people. I just did a video on my 200 subscriber video, so that was pretty awesome. Gave away a $50 gift card. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like the content, if you got something out of this video. Also, subscribe to the channel, of course. We're trying to grow this channel into something. And hit that bell notification, so every time I come out with a video just like this, you'll be the first to know. And I hope you have a great rest of the day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.